My name is Roberto. I will be at your service while you are sailing with us tonight. Would you like to see the menu?
Yes, please.
The menu looks delicious.
Yes, it does. As a matter of fact, marinated roasted chicken breast is my favorite.
I'm sure you will enjoy our special menu for tonight. What would you like to drink?
A bottle of Chardonnay, please.
My name is Roberto. I will be at your service while you are sailing with us tonight. Would you like to see the menu?
Yes, please.
The menu looks delicious.
Yes, it does. As a matter of fact, marinated roasted chicken breast is my favorite.
I'm sure you will enjoy our special menu for tonight. What would you like to drink?
A bottle of Chardonnay, please.
My name is Roberto. I will be at your service while you are sailing with us tonight. Would you like to see the menu?
Yes, please.
The menu looks delicious.
Yes, it does. As a matter of fact, marinated roasted chicken breast is my favorite.
I'm sure you will enjoy our special menu for tonight. What would you like to drink?
A bottle of Chardonnay, please.
It would be fantastic if we can go on a real cruise someday, wouldn't it?
I used to dream about going on a ship when I was a kid.
Where did you want to go?
I always wanted to go to South America.
Really?
Yes, really. I had dreams about being in Argentina and meeting a beautiful woman with a rose in her teeth.
Like this?
That's her. There she is.
It would be fantastic if we can go on a real cruise someday, wouldn't it?
I used to dream about going on a ship when I was a kid.
Where did you want to go?
I always wanted to go to South America.
Really?
Yes, really. I had dreams about being in Argentina and meeting a beautiful woman with a rose in her teeth.
Like this?
That's her. There she is.
It would be fantastic if we can go on a real cruise someday, wouldn't it?
I used to dream about going on a ship when I was a kid.
Where did you want to go?
I always wanted to go to South America.
Really?
Yes, really. I had dreams about being in Argentina and meeting a beautiful woman with a rose in her teeth.
Like this?
That's her. There she is. I need to ask you something.
What is it?
How do you feel about me?
I love you very much.
Do you love me enough to be my wife?
Yes, I love you enough to be your wife.
Then would you marry me?
Didn't I just say I loved you?
Sorry, darling, I'm nervous.
Me too, my love. But as long as we have love for each other, there is nothing to worry about.
Do you like it, darling?
I'm speechless.
Then we're engaged?
Yes, my darling, we're engaged.
I need to ask you something.
What is it?
How do you feel about me?
I love you very much.
Do you love me enough to be my wife?
Yes, I love you enough to be your wife.
Then would you marry me?
Didn't I just say I loved you?
Sorry, darling, I'm nervous.
Me too, my love. But as long as we have love for each other, there is nothing to worry about.
Do you like it, darling?
I'm speechless.
Then we're engaged?
Yes, my darling, we're engaged.
I need to ask you something.
What is it?
How do you feel about me?
I love you very much.
Do you love me enough to be my wife?
Yes, I love you enough to be your wife.
Then would you marry me?
Didn't I just say I loved you?
Sorry, darling, I'm nervous.
Me too, my love. But as long as we have love for each other, there is nothing to worry about.
Do you like it, darling?
I'm speechless.
Then we're engaged?
Yes, my darling, we're engaged.
Greetings and welcome to Today we will begin a review of verb tenses, focusing today on the present tenses, which we will continue for the last units of this book and of this series. Reviewing these verb tenses will give you an opportunity to really see how far you have come, present perfect, in your study of English. Let's begin, shall we? We'll begin, of course, with the simple present, which is used to describe regular or habitual actions. The simple present. Julie works for Channel 12. You'll see on our little timeline here how she works covers the whole spectrum of times. It began in the past, it's happening now, it's going to continue. It is a regular thing, a habitual thing. She works for Channel 12. That's her job. Now, the present continuous is used to describe the actual present moment, now. Let's take a look at our time grid for the present continuous. John is working at his office at the moment. John is working right now at his office. Now, the present continuous is often used as well to describe the current conditions during a particular period of time. For example, let me show you. Let's say that David might ask John, "Say, John, how are the kids these days?" And John answers, "Oh, just great. Clayton is playing Little League Baseball, and Kelsey is taking modern dance." John doesn't necessarily mean in this particular use of the present continuous that Clayton is at Little League practice at that moment, or that Kelsey is taking modern dance at that very moment. What John is saying is that in this particular period of time, Clayton is playing Little League, Kelsey's taking dance lessons. It's often used just to describe activities that are going on at a particular period or during a particular segment of one's life in a sort of larger way than just at that exact second. You see what I mean? Let's go on. The present perfect is used to describe things that started in the past and then continue into the present. Let's look at our example. of the present perfect. John has worked for TAG Engineering for 10 years. 10 years ago, he began, and he has worked there all that time and is continuing to do so now and into the future. John has worked for TAG Engineering for 10 years. I have lived in San Diego for over 20 years. That is another sentence in the present perfect. I began living in San Diego over 20 years ago. I still live there now and will continue to into the future. Dave's friend Walter says, I haven't been a painter for several years. This is just to show you a use of the negative in the present perfect. Walter hasn't been a painter, someone who paints, right, for several years. He was once, but is no longer, and has not been for several years. I haven't played the violin for years. Same thing, right? A negative use of the present perfect. I have not played the violin for years. Implies that I did at one time, then stopped, and haven't for several years. Okay? David asks Monica, have you seen any good movies recently? Notice how we use the interrogative. Just invert the subject pronoun or the subject of the sentence and the helper verb have. Have you seen, past participle, any good movies recently? Monica tells him, yes, I have. I saw a really good movie last week. Yes, I have is a short answer in the present perfect. I saw, of course, is what? Simple past, right? Last week, Monica saw a really good movie. Now, how about the present perfect continuous? That tense is also used to describe things that started at some time in the past and continue into the present. Here's an example. David and Monica have been dating for 10 months. David and Monica have been dating for 10 months, and what? They still are, right? It's a continuous condition. David and Monica have been dating for 10 months. I'd say now that we have reviewed those present tenses, let's do some exercises. I will give you the sentence, you name the tense. Okay? Clayton loves chocolate ice cream and cake. What tense is that? It's the simple present, of course. Clayton loves chocolate ice cream and cake. How about this one? Kelsey has loved eating ice cream and cake too. Kelsey has loved eating ice cream and cake too. That's the present perfect, right? Kelsey has loved. Eating, in this case, is a gerund. She has loved eating ice cream and cake too. In fact, they are eating some right now. That tense is the present continuous. They are eating some ice cream and cake, right? Right now. They have been eating it for the last 10 minutes. Name the tense. It's the present perfect continuous. They have been eating it, the ice cream and cake, for the last 10 minutes. That means since 10 minutes ago. I teach at a really good school. Name the tense. I teach at a really good school. The simple present. Name the school. LEI. I've taught at the same school for 10 years. I have taught, or I've taught at the same school for 10 years. The tense is the present perfect. Good. How about this one? He's been in the same pair of blue jeans for 3 weeks. He's been in the same pair of blue jeans for 3 weeks. He has been, right? And that is the present perfect. How about this one? They are attending Beverly Hills High this school year. They are attending Beverly Hills High this school year. The tense is the present continuous. And that's that second kind of use, the second way of using it that I explained to you a little earlier. They are attending means that it's this school year, this particular segment of time, this school year is the period that's covered by that particular use of the present continuous. They've been attending school there since September. They've been attending school there since September. Have been attending is what? The present perfect continuous. Aha! Someone made a little error in labeling there. That is present perfect continuous, right? They've been attending school there since September. Pardon the error. You have been studying verb tenses for about half an hour. You have been studying verb tenses for about half an hour. There we are. Now this time it's labeled correctly. It's the present perfect continuous. You have been studying verb tenses for about half an hour. As in, they have been attending school there since September. We're having a party. That is present continuous, isn't it? We've lived in the same town since 1973. We've lived in the same town since 1973 is the present perfect. Okay? So, now, we're having a party. Now, for this exercise, please put the verb in the correct tense. John is an engineer. He blank for tag engineering for 10 years. The word or the verb is work, right? I'll do this one for you. John is an engineer. He has worked for tag engineering for 10 years, right? We need to use the present perfect there. He began working at tag engineering 10 years ago. He still works there. It's an event that began in the past and is continuing into the present. Okay? Monica is a student. She blank at LEI, and study is the verb. Monica is a student. She studies at LEI. We can use the simple present there. If you said she is studying at LEI, that would also be fine, by the way. Monica is a student. She is studying at LEI. She studies at LEI. Either one is just fine. How about this? Look, that man, use a form of the verb wait, for a bus for the last half an hour. It looks like he's still waiting for that bus. Look, that man has been waiting, right? That man has been waiting for a bus for the last half an hour. It's the present perfect continuous, because he's still waiting at this moment. David wants to see a good movie. He, and you're going to use the negative of the verb see, a good movie in a long time. David wants to see a good movie. He hasn't seen a good movie in a long time. Negative of the present perfect. Okay, how long blank they blank, the verb is argue, which means to have a verbal fight. A fight in words. How long blank they blank blank? Well, it's the present perfect continuous again, isn't it? How long have they been arguing? How long have they been arguing? David is an accountant. He blank at LEI now. David is an accountant. It's a form of the verb work that we want here. He is working at LEI now. Blank Donna blank any good operas recently? Blank Donna blank any good operas recently? Operas are sung, dramatic productions that are sung. And we're going to use see, of course. Your answer? Has Donna seen any good operas recently? You blank English very well. And I'd like you to use the verb speak. Simple present. You speak English very well. Now how about this one? You blank English very well right this minute. That's going to be the present continuous, right? You are speaking English very well right this minute as you're filling in the blanks for these exercises. They blank all morning. They blank all morning. The verb is cook, and it looks like they are still at it right now as we speak. They have been cooking all morning. Present perfect continuous. They have been cooking all morning. Clayton blank to play baseball, but today he blank basketball. Okay? Two verbs. In the first blank, a form of like, and in the second blank, a form of play. So what? Let me hear it. Clayton. But today he basketball. Okay, Clayton likes to play basketball, but today he is playing basketball, right? Clayton likes to play baseball, but today he is playing basketball. Notice the verb likes, where after it we have an infinitive in this case, likes to play baseball, but like is one of those verbs after which you could also, if you chose, use a gerund. You have a choice of using an infinitive or a gerund. You could say Clayton likes playing baseball as well as Clayton likes to play baseball. Can't do that with all such verbs, though. What blank you blank? Blank it interesting. In the first question, use read. For the second question, use a form of the verb be. What blank you blank? Blank it interesting. What are you reading? Is it interesting? And play is our verb. They blank soccer for half an hour. And they still are. They have been playing soccer for half an hour. It's continuous because they still are. It's the present perfect continuous. Well, that's our review of present tenses. I will see you in the next unit where we will be reviewing past tenses. Thanks for joining me here to learn your English at LEI.